water really quick. And I woke up super early today. I went to bed. Slept really well though. Had a hard ass workout though. Man. Been learning a lot about how the body works. In fact, been testing that for myself. It's actually quite fucking insane. So, like, one of the things I've been learning a lot about is fasting. And people always say, what do you mean by that? You know, what is fasting? Fasting, the simple way of putting it is, and this is what I actually been experiencing for myself. Let's get on the thinking cap. Let's get on. Fasting itself is a way of neutralizing toxins. A reset. I said during biblical time, there's always been, you know, on Sabbath day or one day a week, you would fast all week. And funny thing is, Muslims do it, Buddhists do it a lot. All these other different type of religions always seem to have like a big fasting type thing where they fast a lot. Now for health sense, what it seems like I think it does, this is with me altogether, of course everybody's different though. So with me, with me, it feels like it does. Now I do coffee and water. That's what I've been, heard that works effectively. Now the things that you might expect if you do this for long periods of times, if you do it like, say you do it twice a week, you do it in the morning time and that, depending on what time you can do it. Normally it's best to do it when you first wake up. Why? Because when you first wake up, it's the best effort because you're already in a fasted state and it makes it a lot easier. You gotta hydrate. So, water. I got coffee on the side. Now, what it does is, your body's not digesting anything, Say when you sleep, I slept for 5 or 6 hours. I feel great. So I just woke up, not even like 15 minutes ago. People always say, you know, do you get hungry? Not necessarily. I never really get hungry when I'm on a fast. Fasting doesn't make you necessarily hungry, especially in the morning time, because your body's still trying to wake up anyway. Your body can take up to an hour or two to fully actually wake up, if not more, depending on what you drink, depending on what you do eat. More or less like what you drink. If you drink coffee, or if you drink, some type of sugary beverage, and that normally more or less likely you'll wake up a little quicker than that. The biggest suggestion would be water, because hydration would be the biggest factor. At least what I've noticed.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
So, from my personal experience, mental clarity is one of them. So basically what I've noticed is when you don't eat something, you only drink water, now you actually do what you call a toxic evacuation, where your body doesn't have to break down much of anything. It kind of makes your body flow. You clean out your kidneys, your liver, stuff like that. Your body has a lot of concentrations with it, as in, like, it produces a lot of healing capabilities, recovery capabilities when you do stuff like fasting, or if you eat specific foods and that, like, say, lemons do it really good, or you drink,
with you now, Rudolph.
comfortable, like, certain types of teas and that, herbal teas, evidently.
As fast as you can, so think slow.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do. But yeah, it's just very interesting. Now, like I said, it goes from my own personal experience and that, so I'm not going to go by any actual research, because I think it's pretty much by experience. Some people, have extreme weight loss because the act of not eating causes your body to decrease calories at the beginning of the day. You do it in the morning time. Actually causes you to be able to lose weight, because if you don't consume calories at the beginning of the day, which a lot of people like to do, I say if you have to consume calories because of muscle, to be able to recover that, then yeah, I suggest eat your carbs and that. Because that is going to be a good thing. Eat your carbs and proteins, get your, veggies in, get your fats in, especially morning time fats. If you choose to drink some sugar and that, it's not going to kill you. Some people think, sugar's bad, fat's bad. The truth is, none of that stuff's actually really bad for you. It's the amount of fat. Yeah, it's the amount of fat that you ingest. It's the amount of sugar that you ingest. So if you're obese, probably should not eat as much sugar, because most sugary foods have a lot of fat in it. It's not the sugar itself. You just eat like cane sugar, your body's actually not going to really gain much weight. Because sugar is a hyperactive type thing. Your brain loves sugar a lot, and it's super hyperactive. At least for what I've noticed with me and with, say, like kids and that. Kids always seem to be very sugar high. Cause, well, it tastes good, yeah, but their brains activate better. Like I did a fast at my job and that, well, ex job at Denny's and that, and I sat there and I drank like
Better now.
I would say maybe like 8 ounces of orange juice, and not even 10 minutes later, or so maybe 15 minutes later, I got massive amount of energy out of nowhere. I was alert. I was awake. Now, this only happens when you actually do fast. That's why I say fasting is such a good thing. So what does fasting do? Well, evidently detoxinize you.
Ammo here. It detoxinizes you to a certain extent. It brings up your brain function because of clarity and that, because you don't have shit in your system that. Especially depends on what you eat. So even if you eat like shit, more or less likely you're gonna have more of an effect with this. Basically, for what I've noticed, you know. Evil.
Now people go to extremes. No, extremes are dumb. Don't go to extremes. 6-7 hours a day, maybe 8 hours a day, if you choose to. If you're a person that's not that active, yeah, if you're a person that's not super active, probably should just eat less.
A box of jingly bullets looking for a home.
Yeah, if you're just not an active person, just eat less.
Sometimes you gotta decorate your own tree.
The problem with eating that comes down to entertainment. So the most common value,
Where that leads.
or the most common thing that people like to do when doing something, they have what you call, attention food, which I mean is if you're paying attention to something, you want to be able to eat something. At least for like popcorn, stuff like that. Like movies tell you, oh, eat popcorn. Popcorn without butter sucks, but it's gargantuanly more healthier. There are certain foods you can eat, stagger amounts of it, and probably would never get fat off of it. They act like fillers. So you get a favorite like vegetable, and you can eat that all day long because the calories of it are so lacking that it doesn't matter. Now, if you do like to eat, just move around more. No, I'm learning by actual experience.
Here comes Santa. Chestnut. I may have overindulged.
So this is a new thing that I'm getting into. So I'm doing a lot of, experience research, try out different things. And now these effects, no effect of anything is going to happen in one day. This is a thing that you should do multiple times. Try it out, how you feel after like 1 month. Normally these things occur after 1 month. So we do, when you're
I'm guessing when you're more relaxed, you're more entertained, it goes by quicker. That's why I'm streaming, that's why I'm playing games and that. That's what I did the other day in that. I was playing a game and like 5-6 hours of it went by, and then my body finally got hungry.
Minus 10 seconds until your death.
And like I ate food after my workout because I worked out my back really hard. My back was, you know, in quite a bit of pain in that. Not ridiculous, but muscle pain. I worked out my chest and that. So I went through and I ate. And 4 scrambled eggs. I had some oats. With the scrambled eggs, I put some
Not terrible, but that's just the word.
I put some shredded chicken in there, like just lunch meat chicken. I know it's not massively good for you, but hey, it works for extra protein. Maybe hit that fucker.
Besides, man, surprising. Want a cookie?
And it works. It worked really well. And it's just a little thing. I put bell peppers in it because I like to have a little bit of a spice to my stuff, and that spiciness actually helps out with, you know, metabolism a lot. Actually, a lot. So you have semi-spicy foods. You can't go overly spicy. Unfortunately, that fucks with your. That can fuck with your teeth and your tongue and that, you know, kind of. But yeah, you want semi-spicy foods. Fucking pepper's considered to be spicy. Yeah, pepper actually works out pretty good itself too. That's why people, you know, are supposed to eat pepper, garlic. Garlic is a little bit of a spiciness. Called blood cleansers. Spiciness or sourness, it's an acidity. Acidity, it's an acid-based compound. And most things that have spiciness or sourness. So, like, if someone wants to say, "Oh, what's the best diet?" Period. People always want to say, "Oh, it's a combination of, you know, the 3 groups of food." Let's speak. So yesterday I had a gigantic fucking steak. We butchered a cow and a full one. And the steak was probably about it's probably about a pound worth, at least a pound and a half worth of meat. We had 2 of them, and I probably ate. I think it was probably about a pound or 2 of meat. It was quite a bit actually. And I felt great. I ain't gonna lie, it was good.
I made a list. I checked it.
And like, I really enjoyed it. It was good steak.
This area remains mostly secure. The God's helping you somehow. Is this some sort of trick? You're not this good.
And it was massively enjoyable. You said, "Oh, meat's bad for you, fat's bad for you," all those stuff's bad. I love vegan people. I just say this, like, they at least understand the body the most. They just say, "Oh, vitamins and minerals, all you need." Now, like, vitamins and minerals is, you know, a huge thing with food. Yes, you know, you need vitamins and minerals. You need to be able to sit there and have these sort of things. But that's not the main thing that you need. You need fats for hormone production. You need a certain amount of fats. Yes, you can get them from peanuts and nuts and stuff like that. Yes, you can. If you want to eat, and there's certain kinds of compounds of foods that people make from, you know, the facilities and that help you regain more protein and shit like that.
Get some break.
And yes, there is. Like people like eating a lot of chickpeas and shit. Chickpeas have a huge amount of protein in them.
I shot his eye out. That's nuts. That's great. The naughty list.
Yeah, people have a lot of things that they like to do in that. Like,
Evil is what?
it depends on what works for you, but you need.
How badass am I? I see
You are so dead.
And
This wave is gonna
exercise is extremely important. Exercising or keeping a focus on something that's entertaining without eating
actually survive.
is hugely. It's like when you're a kid, that is how I always base it on. When you're a kid and that, and you sit there, you focus on something, you're so intrigued by it, you like don't eat. All you do is sit there and you focus on something, and like 3 or 4 hours go by. You're all like, "Fuck, I haven't eaten in like 5 hours," and you're all sitting there. You feel good, so you choose not to eat. That's the best thing. You choose not to eat. Nowadays, food's so regulated into our lives that we don't understand that you don't have to fucking eat.
Get some gear, ammo, all those things.
When you're staying at rest, you don't have to eat. Your body will regulate just fine. People back then, you know, were fucking, you know, everybody had pudge on that fact as survival on that. Full of shit.
Don't understand each other. Rerouting power from shields. How mighty does attack! I have a whole warehouse of those. This may result in you getting overconfident. Even the best occasionally. Excuse me.
A lot of people that do that shit, man.
Occasionally requires
Snapshot, bitch.
Replacing advanced weapon systems is resource intensive.
People always do that stuff, and they just make a bunch of excuses. That when I see people, the thing is, like, it blows my mind. When I see younger people that are overweight, it means the schools are failing them. I hate seeing younger people that are fucking just obese. They're great people. Like, their personalities are great. They're not actually, well, lack of intelligence depends on what region of intelligence that you lack in. If you lack in, like, body health intelligence, then yeah, you gotta learn that shit. So there's one girl I work in that, or at Denny's that. I like her a lot as a, you know, person. That she's super cool, and me and her get along really well, and that, you know, and we're basically both dorks. And she's like 16, 17, and she's obese. She weighs more than I do, from what I can tell by body mass and that. Or she weighs really close to me. No woman, unless you're really thick, like you got a lot of meat on you and that, you're tall and stuff like that, no woman should weigh over 200 pounds. No woman should weigh over 180, unless you got some really thickness to you and that actually lifts a lot of weights and shit, or whatever it might be. Bone density, stuff like that. I actually don't believe in that.
You're fired.
Yeah, I don't believe anyone should weigh a certain way. There's so many reasons why not to.
You're not this good.
But some people just can't control that because, they either, like, get emotionally fucking upset about it. You're calling me fat? Yeah, you're fat.
Ground is a challenge.
The excess amount of fat on your body is not healthy.
Kill my elves, I kill.
Now, you can train with fat. Yeah, you can be a fat person and train with it
Surprising.
to build huge amount of muscle. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are bigger based people than that, and they can build a huge amount of muscle because of the excess amount of weight they're used to walking with, they're used to doing that, but they actually eat healthy to a certain extent. They just don't lose the fucking weight because they're compounding calories and shit too much. But yeah, you can get a lot of strength. Is it massively healthy for you? No, but strong men do it. They consume enormous amount of calories because their body needs it, then yeah, I understand that. But like, there's certain things that you have to understand about the human body that, just this is from my own personal experience of dealing with stuff, is how do you deal with certain things? So it's like one of the things that I like to deal with, and that is the mental aspect. So emotional. That is my bread and butter. I love talking about stuff. This is actual experience, my own personal research. And this is what I see around the area where I live at, and most likely it's normally similar to most. It doesn't really change that much.
I'm all give.
The biggest thing is I see a lot is anxiety.
Or coming.
Anxiety is the number one factor.
I spy.
Now, how I deal with anxiety is meditation and, honestly, praying. A lot of people don't like dealing with prayer. That's all the Duke religion that. If prayers didn't really work like they actually do, and people are saying like, "Oh, how do prayers work?" and that, what's the psychological effects of praying is, to me, is accepting what is real to a certain extent. So like, we pray or meditate, get part of the spirit world, is because we understand that it's real. Once you understand that something is real,
We're great. No.
guess what? You change yourself because you know that it exists. That's what happened to me. I changed myself and know it exists. There's a huge amount of phenomena that happen in our world that we can't explain. Now, what are these spirits or entities that? Most likely, from my point of view, they're angels and demons. Or they might be resemblance of certain people that died, souls that come back, This is from the Jewish faith, from the Torah, which is basically the Bible Jewish way, which actually explains in actual specific detail that our Bible does not actually explain. To listen to this rabbi guy on YouTube explaining specific details about it, it's fucking the most interesting thing ever. And it's so interesting that it brings me to believe that people just don't fucking know. People just don't know anything. So the basis of it is, when you talk about your body now, you talk about how you work in that, If you believe in something, and you believe in something good, so to speak, and people say, well, what do you mean by good and evil? It means positivity. You have a positive aura. You have a positive way of thinking. You have a positive way of producing things, or whatever it might be. It has to be positive. I went from an extremely negative person to a positive person. And honest truth is, a lot of it was lack of knowledge.
Don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. God's helping you somehow.
Yeah,
Is this some sort of prank?
it is. It's honestly just lack of knowledge. Why most people have issues. It just depends on what kind of knowledge you want to learn. So if you want to learn a lot about how the body works and that, everyone should know how their body works. You're a human being. You should know how the fuck you work. Now, obviously, in the smallest details, that retains a lot of research. But the things that we deal with in life, and that asks the question, why? Why do these things happen to me? Okay, why do I have anxiety? Okay, well, we'll go with anxiety first. That's everyone's favorite thing to go with.
Surprising.
Anxiety, depression, it leads with a lot of negativity. So to understand life is to go through it. I mean, okay, well, you go through life and that depends on the, what kind of life you go through. So say that if you go through a dramatic life, that you got arguments around you all the time, you got people that are down on you. This is basically how I look at my life back then. You got people that don't accept you in a way. You got people that want to ignore you or push you away or call you a baby or say these specific things and that, negativity things. And, these are the things that kind of push people into that state of mind where you just, you stop caring about yourself. Okay, I agree with that. Some people stop caring about themselves then because of these things. And, it becomes an actual issue.
I'm going to try something different.
What do we got here? Okay, that's fine. And so, my base upon anxiety in that I had a lot of issues of expressing myself.
I hear my ears are jingling.
Even though I like to express myself, but I couldn't express myself in the way that I wanted to.
What I hear. I see you, Siren. How do you like me now?
So lack of expression always leads to most likely anxiety. A lot of people don't understand that lack of depression, lack of expression always leads to anxiety and depression. So when you actually can express yourself, it doesn't matter what means it is, and people actually want to talk about it and that. Say, I talk about anime and that. So I find people that talk about anime. You find the groups of people you like to talk to, and that it normally leads to less anxiety. There's a reason why people join in groups. There's you got women that join feminist groups. You got men that join the manliness groups, whatever the fuck they're called. They want to be part of something, so the lack of anxiety goes down. The stuff goes down because people are all into one thing. That's the reason why you got cultures that are, different because they want to be part of something.
It was hard to steal this many.
And the funny thing is, that's literally how the world works. Now, unfortunately, is it healthy in some ways? I think if you can't think on your own, honestly, no, I think it's unhealthy. Through the biblical text, we talk about Bible text, and it says being alone and being with God is the number one thing. Why? You know yourself. You can't know yourself through other people. You know yourself by being alone and meditating. Meditating is a form of relaxation and get into your thoughts and ask a bunch of questions. So if I ask questions about my life, where's my life going to be going at? Okay, well, I like streaming. I like communicating. I like talking to people. I like helping people. How can I help people? Well, I help people through my own personal experience and what I actually know, what questions I do ask, and what do I understand.
They grow up so fast.
And that's always the biggest thing is I'm always alone now. And what I mean by that is that I'm never having interactions with other people that much. But I know how to have interactions with other people. Is the streaming helped me out a lot in that? Yeah, It's a fear complex that I had. It's a confident complex. Do I go to the gym wearing sleeveless shirts or wearing tank tops? Absolutely. It's not to attract women. It's for confidence. To establish my front in my world. The people don't like that stuff. People, if you can't establish yourself, then you don't know yourself. So, like, my community, if someone sees me from, like, Planet Fitness and that, and they know I work out hard, they see me fucking hit the weights hard, when they see me outside of Planet Fitness, they're going to know that I hit the weights hard. They're going to know that I'm very focused. They're going to hear me talk. They know I'm very jokative. They're probably going to know, you know, probably say I'm a Trump supporter to a certain degree, you know. As in, like, presidential, politically, I'm, yes, 100% a Trump supporter. You know, they're going to understand I'm very jokative. And that's what happens. So the whole entire world is going to see me for what I am, not for what I'm not. And that's the biggest thing that most people don't want to do. They're like, oh, I'm scared. So scared of what? Scared of the boogeyman? I mean, you're scared of yourself. That's all you're doing. Most people are. Because you're fucking lost. When people are lost in this world, they get scared of themselves. And they freak out, too. And most people do. They're like, the influencers are horrible. You see why my channel's not growing too much? Because I'm not a mass influencer. My trend is not being a dumb fuck. My trend is actually trying to help people out. And people don't like that. People actually hate that shit. People actually hate that shit. The mainstream media, all these mainstream sources and that, they don't like that you're trying to make people more positive. They were thinking about, we like money because we're greedy, or we like influence because we're selfish. Whatever that is. I agree with you. I don't care. I like money, but I don't want to desire. My desire is to educate people so they don't end up like how I was 15, 16, 17 years ago. All the stuff that I went through in that. And why did I go through it? Honestly, I have no idea why I went through it. You know, I could have been like the most popular kid in fucking school. I could have been in the best shape of my life at 16, 17 years old. There's a lot of guidelines. I could have had everything that I ever wanted if things were specifically put in a certain thing. I had the fucking luxury. I could have had millions of dollars already. I could have had all this luxury in that if I actually had the mind that I have now and I didn't have all the bullshit behind me. Like I said, I'm 33, going to be 34 next year. And, like, I just start to do this stuff at 30. So most people say, men don't normally start to grow until after, like, in their mid-20s or late 20s. Especially this day of society. Now, if you can grow as soon as you get out, if you start practicing certain things, people say, be a kid as long as you can. You're a kid when you're a kid. You're a kid from 1 to 13, give or take. You know, you're a toddler, you're stuff like that. You learn how to do the basic mechanics of life. Yes. But the biggest thing is, being a kid at 13, 14, 15, that's when actually adulthood actually has to start slipping in. Unfortunately, it's going to be very difficult, but you can plant the seeds and let the seeds grow. You can plant the seeds and let them grow. So what seeds you want to plant when you're a kid? Discipline. So what's important? Health, 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 health. Health is extremely fucking important, especially for a kid that learn how to diet, learn the proteins, learn the macros, learn how to exercise, learn how to do all this stuff. And that. Even if you don't do specific things, I'm not like saying you should learn how to be a bodybuilder. No, learn what it means to be able to exercise. Learn the mental aspect of it. That little things you can teach this stuff. That's why public schools suck. People say public schools are not. Public schools are nothing but babysitters for you because you had too many fucking damn kids and you don't have the luxury of taking care of them, or because you had a kid out of wedlock and you don't understand what it is to be an actual parent. You make up all excuses in the fucking damn world, which a lot of people do, man. That's mean, that's cruel, and but that's fucking reality. I mean, that's exactly what most parents do nowadays. Instead of being practical with their children, understanding what it is to, actually what it is to have a damn child, is to be ready for the child to be born. So for a man, have a child at fucking 50. You can always find a woman that's younger. Establish a good front. Make your first $1 million. Make your first, establishment of life. Have the discipline, have the knowledge, so when your child grows, you can clip it as fast as possible on learning certain things. No, people run around with their dick and balls hanging out and legs spread, and they have children when they shouldn't have children. Say it from a woman's perspective, which most women know this, date older. Date older. How old? I mean, obviously your heart is your own desire. You think an 8-year-old should date a 30-year-old and people fawn upon that? I said, well, it depends on the activeness and the discipline of the 30-year-old. The 30-year-old's getting his life together. He has the seed of getting his discipline together, get his life together. Then yeah, why not? I think a parent should be absolutely thrilled. Why? Well, fuck. If I was a smart parent than that, and the guy was, of course people always do the whole sexual thing and that. I'm fucking 30. I do not give a fuck about sexual shit. When I look at a woman now, I'm not gonna. Only little babies, little teenagers think about that shit. Teenagers think about that shit. Yeah, because you're hormonal. You're hormonal as fuck. You haven't developed yet at all. You're still in a state of fucking mentally growing yourself.
Sometimes you gotta decorate your own tree.
People definitely do not understand that at all. You're still in a state of growing. To mentally mature yourself, it's to go through a huge amount of processes that most people never go through in their whole entire life. YouTube's chat thing is doing that glitch shit. But yeah, people do frown upon the age thing. So if you're a woman that, what I mean by dating older, I mean date more mature. Because women aren't necessarily followers to a certain extent. They follow. They're supposed to follow. That's kind of the reason why they group up together, why they talk about it. They're super dramatic in that to a certain extent. Now, it's a variation of a lifestyle, 100%. Lifestyle does matter a lot with how you grow up in that. That's normally how it goes. You always want to be part of something. So why you want to be part of someone that's a fucking moron that's immature? Not all age, age does not determine maturity. It's how they're raised. So if a young boy is raised with spoiledness, and they don't do any type of hardship, and they just especially nowadays. You gotta think back then without the internet, you only see what you do. You only see what other people do. But the internet can guide us into a breakthrough of certain things of knowledge and that, or it can consume us with really stupid shit. You just become a brain dead fucking moron. But it seems to happen quite a bit on this television. I think a lot of people are just fucking really fucking stupid. Well, I mean, you just don't. People just lack a lot of fucking knowledge. They're not excited about it either. They're really excited about watching a bunch of fucking influencers that sit there all day and talk about shit. They're like, oh, I feel emotionally impaired. I feel good that. You ain't doing nothing with your life. You're sitting there. I get it. Please learn. Learning should never stop. Learning should never, ever, ever stop. Period. You shouldn't stop learning. People like to stop learning a lot, and it blows my mind. I'm sitting like, why do you stop learning? Because learning's stupid. No, you're not talking about studying. Studying's different, because studying is memorizing stupid shit. Learning is open up your mind to your reality to understand what you need to learn. You can't sit there and think that, everything has to be based upon, what you see in school, what you see in college. The truth is, you probably won't learn too much. That's what I have testing. I was horrible at testing. I hate testing. Even when I was doing those tests from the car wash shit, I fucking hated that shit. It was so fucking stupid. So damn annoying. It was hugely tense. Just stupid, because if it doesn't entertain me enough, my mind enough, as in what I like to know, what I like to get into. I like to get into a lot of human development stuff. No. If you want to make the best kind of human being, you gotta start when you're young. What do you mean? I always say, what do you mean by that? Because the younger you are, the more you learn quicker. So if you're like a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and you see daddy exercising that, you want to exercise, right? Then you see daddy doing a whole bunch of push-ups and shit. You become what daddy is. You watch. Now, that's the biggest analogy. They throw a tablet from you, you watch kid shit. Eventually, you're going to become an adult. Learning adult traits at a young age of 5, 6, the basic stuff like exercising or sitting there and just asking a lot of questions, critically thinking when you're young. More or less, you do ask a lot of questions when you're 4, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, pretty much all the way to you're basically, dead, because you should be asking questions constantly to learn. When you stop asking questions why about certain things, you actually stop learning, period. You become very, you become really fucking dumb, man. You just stop. You just don't do it anymore. And what happens is you have to entertain your mind by something else. If we are active learners, human beings are supposed to be active learners 100%. We're supposed to be constantly learning, constantly producing. We are part of God. We are part of creation. We create things. And that's the basics of it. We like to create. So people like to say, well, what do I create? Whatever's your desire.
surprised.
People always have something they want to do.
Stop wasting my time. Show yourself.
Ammo here.
Somebody's wearing their big pants today. Or big girl pants. I don't judge.
But yeah, these are the biggest things, honestly. Like,
Observing boys or girls.
we really have to really dig into this. Like, you can learn when you're older now, but you can't. It's hard to unlearn stuff that you already know because your brain does not work like that. It is so hard to unlearn it. Like, it's like a far leftist that's literally brainwashed by their own community, which is saying that they're in a cult. They just believe everything that the news says because they have to, because they're mind-drooling idiots that don't want to think on their own, to becoming someone like me, very open-minded and likes to absorb actual, factual stuff from my own personal experience.
A box of jingles.
The more personal things I go through, the more I absorb, and this is basically is asking questions and that. It'd be nearly impossible. Why? Because it's really hard to unlearn. Matter of fact, that's how I was, but I was always very open-minded. I went through that cycle now. 2018, 2019, we're like right before COVID, that shit came out. I really thought, like, these things do not make sense. When I stay at that, I start to research, and all of a sudden I start seeing a lot of people come out and say, this is basically bullshit. Why are people constantly like, going through these interactions of thinking this is bullshit? And the more I went through with it, the more I start to understand people were literally fighting for the truth. How many people think they couldn't handle it? Well, fuck, that just depends on the person itself.
I made a list. I checked it twice.
Don't worry. The next one will be harder.
I'm all give.
Area almost totally secure.
And like that's what changed my mind completely in that. Because I was a fucking lefty, man. I was sitting there, if anyone coughs on me, I'm gonna punch him in the face and knock him out because you're spreading all that crap. And I was like that. Now I was just like, I started learning more and more about biology. I started learning more about, how the body works and that to a certain extent. I started actually researching. Because I love research. I love mythology. I love researching, about, certain things that. I'll tell you what, I've grown enormously in the last 3 to 4 years. Enormously. Like, if you see me 4 years ago, I was a completely different person. I was scared of everything, and then, I had a lot of fear mechanics. I had a lot of lying mechanics. I would fool myself. I would go through and, make up bullshit excuses about my life and that, and blah, 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 blah.
Anyone need armor?
And, like, it became ridiculous. But now I see my life for what it is, and now I'm going through the effects of these judgmental effects of people themselves.
Looking for a home. I see you. I spy a sight. Come, Santa.
The judgmental effects of my body, just like I start to change more and more. So I've always been big in the martial arts. Always been big in the Dragon Ball Z meditation stuff like that. I'd say Dragon Ball Z is probably the best thing for any boy to watch. Just you know, Goku's a very, you know, sympathetic hero. And having someone that's sympathetic like that is amazing. He's very strong in that. He's very meditating in that. He's goofy in that. But he has an honor with him that is very uncommon with people, especially nowadays. It becomes very interesting. And you look at the effects of how he changes people. So then you look at the effects of, like, how he changed Vegeta, and Vegeta changed dramatically because of Goku and that. He became more sympathetic himself. He's still a dickhead, but he's still sympathetic. He found his peace. He found his push, which was Goku.
Ammo here.
Goku was his adversary of pushing him to be better. So I would say good, healthy competitiveness, as in Vegeta and Goku, which is a good, healthy competitiveness, to fight for something which they love to do, which is learn how to get stronger. You work off each other's. So you work off each other's, like, negative and positiveness. So, like, someone can be positive about a situation, which happened a lot with Goku and Vegeta, and some people could be, you know, that per se person could be negative about a situation, the other one could be positive. You lift each other up. It's hard to do by yourself because it's the most difficult thing to do by yourself. But I'll tell you what, if you can find someone to be able to do that with, it changes your whole entire life. This is really why companionship is very heavy, to learn how to get a good companion. And not get it because you want to, you know, stick your ding dong in a fucking, you know, in a piece of bread or whatever the fuck the terminologies might be.
I don't see
You know.
I smell it. I don't like surprises. So much for cranberry sauce.
Yeah, good healthy competitiveness is really good. You gotta have that. Especially if you're in a relationship and that you have to be able to bounce off each other. Now, that's the whole point of being in a relationship with a woman, is to be able to bounce certain things off each other now.
That was for you, Rancher.
So, like, if you're a very active man in that, and you're dating an unactive woman in that, there's a huge chance that relationship's not going to last a ridiculous amount. Because normally emotions, like, normally a relationship wouldn't last that long to begin with, unless you're just a pussyhat wearing man that just obeys women, or women are not meant to lead to a certain extent, at least a man's life. They can give suggestions emotionally, yes, because some men are more logically than emotional. And yes, both men and women need massive support about, you know, certain aspects, but most of the times, if you're very intelligent, I would say, like myself, that knows all the mechanics of certain things and that, how much people fucking hate that shit. You think you know everything, blah, 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 blah. I heard this my whole entire damn life. It's like, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm just thinking about what's going on in life and how I can look at life my own personal way. It's not a damn competitiveness competition of who's got a bigger dong. It doesn't matter about that. It's not a dick measuring contest with other dudes and that. I'm giving you... or you say it's not a boob measuring contest from other girls and that. People love that competitive shit. That means they have a. Means they got some type of complex. But they always have. Normally, you know, guys like from a man's perspective, normally guys with a very small dick are very likely. Can't say like micro penis because that just sucks. But like a very like tiny ego, I guess would it be.
That's great near the top of the naughty list.
They seem to be very more aggressive. It's like the little dog thing.
How do you like
Like little dogs are super more aggressive than just barkers, and that's about it. So what I mean by the little dick syndrome thing? Or little man syndrome? When a little guy, so to speak, sees someone that has more masculinity in them, as in has more strength, they tend to gravitate towards being an ass. So, personal experience. One of the guys I worked with had that. Huge fucking massive, you know, this dude was married, this dude had children, this dude, you know, he made more money than me, and like, but his attention ratio was, everyone give me attention, not him. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, active attention should not be put on just one person, because you are nothing different. I have this, I have that. You can have all that crap. It doesn't mean absolutely nothing. When you start having ratios of like certain things you have more than someone else, that means that you're lacking in something that that person has, so you have to be able to compare yourself to that person. So the guy working at, you know, not a bad guy, I can't say. I say this multiple times before. It's the same guy. Not a bad guy now. He just, you know, he's going through some crap himself and that, and, you know. And, you know, he's done stupid shit and that, blah, blah, blah. But he can't. He can't stop doing, ironically, just... Domination attack. Get fucked, bro. And, like... So we got in a couple conversations about things and that, and this is the one hint. So he would talk to me about something, and this is how I knew that he was having some type of ego trip with me and some type of like competitiveness with me. So we have a conversation that, and he was saying that, well, you're saying that I'm jealous of you. And I said, are you? Like in my mind, I'm just thinking like, well, if you're talking to me about it, you are. And one of the things this person stated, he was just like, I ignored it for so long, but then for some reason it just, you know, it had to happen. So this was a compound happening over and over again. It wasn't giving him the satisfaction of attention from the people he wanted to get attention from, because I was getting more attention than him. So I just asked the question, as you know, you should. Why are you getting more attention than me? How I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. I said, what the fuck do you mean by this and that? What does that have to do with attention? I'm more truthful, more positive, more open-mindedness, and you lack truth. Of course, the question might be like, what do you mean by that? I speak the truth, and that's like, if you spoke so much truth, then why don't people understand and see that you are lying? People see lies a lot.
This area remains mostly secure. Is odds helping you somehow?
People know when people are lying.
Prick, you're not this good.
So when someone figures out that you are lying and that you lie, especially about certain things because your ego is telling you to lie about shit, then you're a little fucking kid. Kids do what we call little bitch lies, the fib lies.
Well, that looks better than jerky.
I'm stronger than you. Oh, that bullshit. Literally, how little children act. Full grown adult. Say 10 or so years older than me.
We're Frank. No.
Sits there and acts like that.
Surprise.
So why does the person act like that? Well, the person never learned. They never actually accept what they're preaching. Like I said, this guy is not about. He preaches really good stuff. He likes to help people out on that side. I see where he's coming from, but the thing is, you're not learning from your preach. You're just preaching a bunch of stuff that you don't actually really believe or have true concepts of it. You just sit there and just talk about it.
I'll see if I can get your fingers.
You talk about smart things because you want attention,
Ammo.
but if you were being those smart things, you would get attention, right? And then quote like who this person is. The person that said he did 1,500 burpees a day, and then later on down the road, like a couple months later, he said he did 100 burpees, 150 burpees. Why? Because people would probably call out his BS, and it's like, and he knew he was wrong. He knew that it was a lie.
Ammo here.
The thing is, it's not about the lie itself. I already knew it was a bullshit lie. I already knew that he did 150. When men try to implicate more enormous amount of feats of strength,
Give.
and you look at them, men do this a lot. And you look at them, you're like, there's no way. Yeah, there is a way. Blah, 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 blah. Like I tell people, okay, I can do full actual curls of 30 pounds using the most amount of bicep activation that I can. 30 pounds is my mass amount of activation to be able to get really good control with 30 pounds.
So much for cranberry sauce.
A rather big guy, you know. My arms are rather fucking big. So, if I see someone that says this, and they don't have enough evidence to be able to prove it, how many sets do you do? How many reps do you do? Are you doing, you know, a lot of cheat reps where you're sitting there and you're just throwing weight up? Are you actually doing actual concentrated, actual, like, lifting? And give me some sort of, like, I'll go to the gym with you, let's lift together. Prime example, you go to the gym, lift with someone, you can understand how strong they are. That's it. So if me and him went to the gym and I said, okay, let's go lift. Let's go see how strong you are as a man. You know, and I say most men can't lift over, you know, can barely bench press over 200 something pounds multiple times. It's just true. It's, you know, most men can, 200 pounds is a lot of bench press in that. And if I say, okay, I could do 100-pound chest presses 4 to 5 times, and I think that is my max I've ever did. And that's like, everything was just feeling great. It was like the perfect amount of energy. My muscles were recovering, that stuff like that. It felt beautiful. Now, the other times I went in there, when I felt weaker, I can only do once. I'd say, okay, 4 to 5. I would say 4. We'll go down to the, you know, I always say 4 to 5 because, you know, I could have done another one that, but unfortunately it didn't work out the way I wanted to.
You know, I mean, is when I went all the way up like this, my fucking my trapezies right here started to have issues because my shoulders got pushed forward a little bit. So that's from the knot. You hear popping of it. I was understanding my limits. Now, if I didn't have that issue, yeah, I could have pushed fucking. I could have done another one or two. So, that's pretty much where my maximum ratio is. About, say, perfect, beautiful day in that. Perfect muscle, volume of water, everything's perfection. I'd say I could probably do at least, say, 210 to 225 one time.
Protect the area if you can.
People said, that's not a lot of weight. Then do it then.
Ammo box for some deserving boy or girl.
How do you like it?
People always think, well, what is weight? I'm like, okay, if you look at a lot of people, man, most people can barely bench press over 150 pounds. Like, actual consistent bench press with the best control ever. Most people can't even do that. What the fuck? I see people in the gym all the time. There's not many people that bench press over 200 pounds.
I'll make sure the next round is a challenge.
Consistently. Like, actual, like, that's where their weight's at in general. Yeah. I don't see it. Unless they're really big, fucking, thick-boned people that are normally fat. Yeah, they can bench press over 200 pounds because their mass is fat. That doesn't mean that they're strong. It means they got a lot of mass. Their mass is equal up to more than that weight.
Better than that. A box of jingly bullets looking for a home.
Keep using the pod. I'll see if I can get your fingers stuck in it.
Yeah, and this is why, you know, strength is a very hardcore thing, especially with men in that. So I had a friend that, he was a skinny guy that I say he's probably like, I don't know, 130 pounds or whatever it is. Maybe 140 pounds. And we did the whole 30-pound weight thing with curls and that. So I can curl 30 pounds. I'm like, really, dude? It's like I'm literally like 80 pounds more than you. And 30 pounds was, you know, rather heavy for me when I think this is probably like 9 years ago.
Box for some deserving boy or
And I said, well, I have nervous system strength in that. I said, okay, so you practice lifting a weight constantly? That's what you mean by nervous system strength. It means your nerve endings fire off, and you can be able to be consistent with that weight. No, it's a very, it's strength, basically. That's what strength is, you know. Unfortunately, yes, the muscle is going to grow based upon how much weight that you do. You know, you cannot have any type of growth if you're just sitting there, you know. You can't have much growth if you're not going to be able to go heavier or whatever it is. Your growth is always going to be there. You know, that's why people say lightweight exercises for hypertrophy or strength training exercises. And they both are different, but strength training is basically staying doing it all the damn time. So like if someone does a whole bunch of push-ups and that, and they don't get any type of muscle tears, or their muscle tears are very tiny, and they recover after a day, then more or less likely it's strength, right? You're adding more numbers now, you're trying to get used to that weight. Yeah. Eventually your nervous system gets used to that weight, but once you put, it's like, let's say we'll go like this. It's like wearing a weight vest and then taking it off. Your nervous system gets used to that 50-pound weight vest, you feel 50 pounds lighter, right? That's a nervous system thing. Now, training like that will eventually build muscle. Yes. That's one thing I actually did for my, that was an actual experience. Because I do got a weight vest in that. It's over 50 pounds. I put it on, and I just had it on. I had it on for like an hour and a half. I did it on one of my streams. I had it on for about an hour or two, maybe 3 hours and that. Something like that. I took it off. I felt 50 pounds lighter. Why? Because the nervous system was triggering that 50 pounds was off, and it was saying, well, fuck. You should feel lighter. It's like a support magic. You're going to feel lighter for that little bit. That doesn't mean it's going to be a lasting effect. No, it actually will not. The lasting effect of it will be like, I don't know, maybe like 5-6 minutes. Now why? It's because that's how your nervous system works. It doesn't last forever. If you train yourself over and over and over and over again, your body will change.
Are you ready for me?
There was this one bodybuilder, he's an old class bodybuilder, he's with Arnold and all that, and he says muscles will change no matter what. Muscles don't stay the same, so if you train heavy, you do like 3 to 5 reps, your muscle value will change no matter what you do because you're putting stress on that muscle to be able to lift that weight. But a lot of people are going into like a lot of scientific facts about certain things that, and like, so like for me, for instance, I did, I think it was close to, there was like 145 to 155 back press. That's from sitting on the thing with my arms up and really going like down like this and going all the way like this. I did about 140 pounds. Could have done more. My strength was really high that day. I felt really good in that. Because I did 140 pound, lat pull down. Their machines are very weird. So there was a single pulley, which is advocate actual like weight that you're doing. It was 140 pounds. I had it wide like this, and I was really trying to really engage that lat and engage the back as much as I could. And then there's a double pulley machine that uses 2 pulleys. So basically what that does is, one pulley is a lot different. So one pulley, when you do 2 lines, it wasn't 2 pulleys, it was 2 lines, it actually adds 25% more actual pressure on it. So it's a more of a pressure lift. That, I can only do maybe like 60 pounds with it. Maybe 70 pounds with it, but it's dual pulleys. And I thought about that because I done both of these machines before, these lat pull downs and that. And it really blew my mind. I'm like, what the fuck is this? This feels really weird. And then I went to the bicep machine, the preacher curl machine. I put 40 pounds on there, and I tried to lift it with one arm. It felt like 20 pounds. It literally took off 50% of the fucking weight. It felt light as fuck. I'm like, dude, how the hell are these machines that far off? So 40 pounds is 80 pounds? So I could have put like 160 pounds worth of weight on there and be like, and actually strain myself and be like, whoa, dude, the pulleys were fucked up. So I was like, huh. So the lat machines were, one was double the pressure by the same weight. The other one was single pressure with actual weight. Well, by that is basically the weight was actually what it was. The other one wasn't what it was. Oh, that was the best part ever. High intensity. And so it felt great. I'm not in massive pain that because, I had to take my creatine on stuff that day, and I took, my pre-workout and that. I drank the aminos and shit. And I actually did eat 8. I ate a banana in the morning. I had a lot of carbs in that, and then I had an amino drink in the morning too with that, so I could saturate my muscles even more. And like my muscle value, how much I ate the other day was like maybe like 160 to 180 something grams of protein. So they were like compound people like eat 500 grams of protein. Dude, this whole protein thing is driving me absolutely fucking crazy. Like, there's so much research that you don't have to eat fucking 280 billion grams of protein that, like, people over ecstatic protein too much, and protein's not the biggest thing that helps build muscle. It's water and glycogen with protein, energy with protein, and water with protein, and glycogen, all this stuff helps you. And of course, taking your vitamins and minerals and stuff like that will amplify it more. Like, I talked to a lot of people on that, and like at the supplement superstores that, you know, I love to go out and that. They're pretty cool. I said, how much protein do I have to eat? Well, at least about 250 grams of protein to be able to grow. You're so full of fucking shit. You guys are just fucking bullshit. I say about 185. One more protein that keeps you fuller and you won't eat so damn much. Just fucking fast though. What the hell? You're not teaching the things you need to teach. I always ask the people now, every time I get someone that tells me something, I always like to look at the effects of how this stuff actually works. Bullshit.
Poison, huh?
Yeah, I always call bullshit. Why? Because people say a lot of shit and then they like, well, I say, what about fasting? What do you think fasting is, you know? Well, you shouldn't starve yourself because it's bad for production. Protein production, that like protein synthesis goes down because you don't have protein in your body now. I said, really? Because, you know, growth hormones go up dramatically when you actually are fasting. So the cleansing effect of fasting is very high because you don't have anything in your system. Now your body actually cleanses itself. So your stress levels reduce. Your function of your brain increases and your stomach value from your intestines shrinks and actually increases because you're not digesting anything. There's like all kinds of things you can look at. So I talk about it to these people and they know. They look at it from a bodybuilder perspective. They're always looking for a bodybuilder perspective. Build muscle, build muscle, build muscle, build muscle, build muscle, you know, blah, blah, blah.
A box of gingerly bullets looking.
I look at all of them. They're like maybe slightly bigger than me, maybe. Like their muscle value looks like they're pretty much on par with me then. Of course, these people are a lot more. Their weight losses. I'm not saying their stuff doesn't work on that. It does work on that, but they do massive, intensive exercises. So okay, they do like these massive programs where they have to do like hiking and running and do all this stuff for that. It's like, well, I go, okay, that's cool now, but if your activities are lower, because my activities are not that fucking high. Like, I go to the gym and I lift my fucking weights. I do about 15 to 30 minutes worth of cardio on that. Most of the times. If it's a really heavy day and that I only want to do 15, I'll do 15 minutes of cardio. And I'll just lift. Like, I did my chest and back, I did my shoulders, I did my biceps, I did my triceps. I did a whole upper body workout in one day. Monday, did the whole upper body workout on that. This is how I like to do in that. Because it's my fresh start. It's my fresh day. So I'm going to do as much volume of those exercises, try to pull in as much muscle growth as I can. So, like today I'm probably going to do legs. So do compound leg movements. I like do leg presses. And so my value of leg presses, I'm going to go rather heavy. I did heavy everything else. To a certain extent, like, I say my chest that's really hard for me to go like super heavy in that. I go heavy enough with good control in that.
How do you like me now? Oh, chestnut.
Because my neck is, my trapeze are still, they're still fucked up in that, so I don't want to push it too much.
Hello, bloody owl. Die, Johnny, die. I shot his eye out. How do you like me now? I spy the tiger. Chestnuts.
Don't worry, the next one will be harder.
I'm all give.
Okay.
Come get some straight.
Spin your jaws, imbeciles, before I decide to shut the pod. You're just dragging this out. How long will a weakling like you survive?
I don't know yet.
Don't bleed on the pod. It was hard to steal this many.
Oh man. Whew. But yeah, a lot of people don't like to practice and train with certain things in that. And honestly, it's pretty nice to go through these transactions and shit. And it's really interesting to go through certain things in life and try to actually build on a certain aspect of life. It's like I always say, everyone should exercise. There's no reason not to go to the gym. I don't have the money. Stop eating Dota. Stop eating Ding Dong in the Hoes, whatever the fuck it is. It's the biggest reason why a lot of people don't have money. That you're spending money on things that are, I would say unnecessary to an extent. And when these things are kind of unnecessary, then you start to learn what is necessary. So, people that give money to influencers, stop it. Stop giving stuff to influencers. Now, influencer, for some reason, a lot of people think people are influencers when they're just, like OnlyFans thinking that they're influencer. Women and men, mostly women on there, thinking that they're influencers. How the fuck you influence? You're not an influencer. You're not trying to teach anyone new. You're just basically being a prostitute online. You're being basically, I can't say you're being a picture prostitute, basically. You're selling your body through pictures and camera to make money. You're not trying to preach and teach. You're trying to act cute and whatever it is. Like, I tell any girl, I said, if you're doing OnlyFans, you're doing it for just the money itself. I say, fine. Do it for the money yourself. But if you can't handle certain backlashes, you know, I see a lot of these girls, you know, they can't handle backlashes. That's just why most women don't do it. If you can't handle certain backlashes and that, oh, there it goes. Woo! Got coffee shits. Body's starting to wake up. How long has it been? Almost 2 hours? About 2 hours now. But yeah, if you can't, like, that's how making money is. It's about understanding how to deal with stuff. So say I get Denise and I dealt with the crap for so long in that, and every time I look at myself in that, and I look at myself, am I miserable? If my misery is more than my, say, unmisery, my negativity is more than my positivity, because interaction with people and that, and like I was getting arguments with some of the people up there and that, it was just getting to the point where I was just like, dude, I'm done talking to you. You're a fucking moron, and you don't want to just leave me alone. You want to keep on gravitating these bullshit narratives. But yeah, so there was a couple of girls there, you know, especially one in particular, and that. Fucking weird. She was just like a fucking little kid. Like, how the fuck you a little kid? You got fucking 3. You're like, crazy people. Too many drugs when you're younger. Too much drugs. Too much playing around with fucking meth or heroin or whatever the fuck it was. Your brain's pretty much gone. You're a drooling fucking mess. And so, like, and I say, you know, I'd rather be on swing working less and dealing with that manager, which wasn't a lot, actually. A lot of times we just kind of just ignored each other and that. We kind of just like went on and ignored each other.
A box of jingly
But the thing is, I was the one trying to keep the positivity going in that. And like, it was kind of difficult sometimes. Like, sometimes the person was very nice to me. He would give in and be like, you know, showing gratitude. But you're just showing gratitude. Because we were talking about one of the girls there at work and that, you know, that me and him both, you know, that he really likes and that. I just like her as a friend and that, but I'm very promotive of trying to push someone forward on that because of, you know, whatever issues they might have.
the old Santa.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of that fucking effect. I can't see shit. Yeah, get the fuck off of me. I hate invisible bitches. Because they're bitches.
Let's pound Santa. Time to give him a present.
God, what the fuck? Fuck you, bitch. Fuck off. Another one? Go away. Yes, your body's hot as fuck, but you got ugly ass titties, bitch. Fuck off me. That's what we call butter faces.
So bad.
It's like, your body's hot, girl, but you got an ugly face. I love body people. I love people that are just like, I'm the hottest thing ever and that. So anyway, I was going on YouTube and I was looking at a bunch of, you know, I like to research, you know, a lot of
Box of jingly bullets looking for a home.
like YouTube things, especially with women and that, because there's a lot of girls that do a lot of holts, where they do a lot of like sexy lingerie or just trying to be all sexy and that, basically just making money off their sex appeal. There was this one English lady that I found.
Ammo here.
I'm guessing that she's Latino, like mixed Latino English, whatever it is. And like, or she's like Spain, English, whatever the fuck it is.
Armor will help you.
Gorgeous woman. I mean, super beautiful. She got curly hair and that. She's a very, very beautiful woman and that. And like,
A box of jingly bullets looking.
and like, I go through like a bunch of videos and that. And obviously, the reason why I want to go through that because these girls look really good and that. And I'm a man, so that's basically what it is. And so, like, I keep seeing all these people. There's so many of them. Like, there's more and more each day. It's like, It's not saying that, you know, some of these girls are, you know, in the porn and that, because I can look them up and that and see butt-ass fucking naked. But some of these girls, no.
You're trying to forget anything.
And, like,
Let's go outside.
so I found this one girl, I think her name is, I think it's like Trisha. Yeah, I think it's Teresa. And like, very beautiful woman. I mean, like, the idea of how she looks now is very, you know, potent. And like, she sits there and just sticks her ass in the camera, as all these girls do. All of them do is like, oh, look at my lingerie stuff and that. It's like, girl, no one's looking at your lingerie, looking how fat your ass is. No one gives a fuck. You got 20%, maybe 25% are women that are actually watching your stuff. Because if you read the comments, they're all fucking men.
Well, that looks better than gingerbread.
The trader
You can trick yourself to think so, but obviously reality is no.
okay with this.
This is how it is. So I was going through all this stuff, and I saw probably like 20, 30 girls. They're all doing the same thing, and some of them are young as fuck, too. Some are barely fucking, they're like hitting the 18-year-old mark and that. They're all starting to do it. You can tell by how the way they like talk and that. They talk really kind of like shy and stupid. And I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? It's like, well, I can't do nothing. I don't want to work. I'm like, it's okay to like, for certain things, I get. But like, really? Like, you can't just stream video games, just look cute in a video game stream.
You meant the old Santa?
That's what I would do. It's easy. You don't have to fucking do anything. Just play Killing Floor, look cute. Bam. Oh, he's glitching out.
You task me.
Ha!
You task me.
He glitched himself to death.
This in flames before
He just fucking blew up. He's dissipated. Oh, that shit's so funny. That shit makes you laugh.
Ammo box for some deserving boy or girl.
Stop being influenced by other women that are fucking morons. Literally, you do not have to try that fucking hard. Like, literally, you don't have to try that hard. Like, I don't understand how women think they have to try so damn hard to get people's attention. You're a woman. Women are supposed to be attentionate. That's the whole point about being a female. You're supposed to be attentionate. It doesn't matter how you look at them. Most women get mass amount of attention. They always fucking will. Men, not so much. Women do not give men enough attention. Oh, they only give certain men attention. And that's what makes it really funny that. So the men attention that most will say the men that get attention most likely because they're good looking attraction, pretty face. If a guy has a pretty face, he's going to get enormous amount of more attention. It doesn't matter if he's fat or not. It doesn't matter. You will get enormous amount of attention. I know that because I'm one of those guys. I got a pretty face. I get enormous amount of attention. I don't even do anything. I just sit there and enormous attention. It does not matter if a woman doesn't have a good-looking face. Of course, faces are dependent on how genetically how you look at people and that. Called genetic eyes. And like, you're going to look at someone for a specific way. So from my personal experience in that, especially right now that I'm getting better shape and that I'm starting to get more masculine, I'm starting to get more muscle and that, I'm starting to understand, that sort of thing. That so like, does my face fit my body? And to a certain extent, it is. It's getting to the point where I'm seeing a difference in my body structure that I'm going to be extremely attractive man once I get in the shape that I want to get into. Yeah, I could be, and a sex influencer basically in some sense or another, and saying being sexy. Yes, 100%. Some people go, no. Like, bitch and moan all you want. You're not going from a man's point of view, I'm going from a woman's point of view. Men obviously like the bitch and moan and complain, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you may like to complain about it. It's because you are not trying to do this. I'm not saying that I am, but I already know what's. I see myself in the mirror when I'm at the gym and that, and I see the way women love to just look at me. They see the frame of me. My frame is going to be fucking a massive good frame. I'm going to grow into a very attractive man. That's not gonna stop. It's not gonna say it's not gonna happen. It's already happening. And I'm starting to notice it. What is that? It's a driving force to say, I probably have a top 1% body. I'm gonna have a top 1% body to a certain extent. It's not gonna be 10%. I was saying top 2 to 1%. My face structure has it. My body frame's gonna have it. Basically, in some senses, I'll be a model-based body. If I lost the weight in that as of right now and I dropped to 10% body fat, I'd be probably one of the most beautifulest guys in fucking South County, where I live at. One of the top beautifulest dudes. I'd be walking around and I would be getting massive fucking attention everywhere. I get that anyway, but I would get more attention. And then my sex appeal will go up, and I'll get enormous amount of attention from women, and even from guys themselves, and that. How do you do this? How do you do that? And the thing is, I wouldn't do it for the satisfaction of getting attention. I do because I like to do it. I enjoy strength training. I enjoy seeing how my body fluctuates, and then, I get what I call unnecessary attention, which is what I'm not thinking about. And I'm saying the top 1%. I'm speaking the honest truth. I look at a lot of people, and my face structure, my body structure is similar to theirs. And I see that now, and it's well, why should I not have confidence in myself? This is the biggest fucking thing I hate with a lot of people in that. They want to have confidence in someone else that they are not. Have confidence in yourself. If you see something you like to do, say lifting weights or getting more intelligent than that, you can listen to other people that have been through it to educate yourself. You're not being them, you're being you by educating yourself with the knowledge they have to make you the way you want to be made. And yes, the way you want to be made. From losing weight, from educating yourself in certain ways and that, and from, learn about nutrition, exercise and that. And that's the biggest thing I like to be into right now is I already got the emotional research very heavily done, and that's going to be a continuous process of learning. It's never going to stop. Because I'm always learning new things. But it's the boldness. Why don't people want to say the things that, that they want to go to that? So men like to say it, and of course women like to say it. There's always this negativity bunch that comes up in that. So like when a woman states it, like I say, like a woman looks at me, it's like, you're never gonna be like that. And I say, why would you say that? Because you don't think shit, because what you're thinking is because you can't get something of that sort, which normally comes down to is what you can't get is only what you hate the most. Or say dislike. So when a woman can't get a guy they really fucking like, they're like, oh, immature women, they normally, so to speak, they'll start to dislike that person. This happened to me multiple fucking times. So for instance, there was this old lady at White House that had a crush on me. She actually really liked me in that. She would always try to get closer to me by various of things, using very childish fucking tactics. And like, she would do simple things like, for instance, we were going outside and that, and I say it was past like 10 o'clock and that. So we're taking out trash now. She's like, Cody, so you want me to take out trash for you? I'm like, well, why? Well, it's scary out there. I'm like, scary? And I says, I gotta walk these streets at night. There's nothing scary about this place. You're just making up bullshit. I'm like, why is a woman asking a man that evidently has more training and fighting to take out fucking trash? Is literally maybe not even 30 seconds a walk, maybe 15, 20 seconds a walkway away. So say like maybe 100 feet? Maybe 50 feet? Well, something might happen to you. And I'm like, oh, because you like me, so you're trying to protect me. Because you don't want anything to happen to me because you like me. Okay. That's the first thing that was like, thinking about. Okay. So no, I'll be fine with that. Like, nothing's going to happen. And so, like, as we started, like, doing something like that, and then when stuff started to escalate, as in, like, I would say escalate into kind of it was a small escalation of emotional tension there. So when I actually start to say, like another woman, actually expressing that I like someone, I like the way someone looks at it, was, I talked about this before a while back when I first started my YouTube page. It was the GM's daughter now. Super cool. Obviously, she kind of talk a little bit of shit behind people's back and that. Whatever, dramatics, but it doesn't matter. She was cool up front. Super fucking good looking. I mean, she was hourglass shape. It was amazing. I was looking at her like... And like, she had a perfectionate body. Like, she was so fucking attractive looking. It was mind-numbing. And like... And so, like, me and her would engage and get talking about the other lady would always seem to be frustrated. A lot of it had to do, not because, and I'm not saying that she, like, liked me, as well as like because I wasn't giving enough attention towards her, because she had maybe a little bit of a like to me. I just call it a baby crush, like a tiny crush. And, like, it came down to that the attention wasn't given to her enough to where this happened like that. She psychiatrically was getting upset as her emotions were flaring up. She was getting upset, and she didn't know how to push away from that by doing her own bullshit, doing her own thing. That's what I say, when you get attention, sometimes you get attention without noticing that you're getting attention. So as like with me, that when I know I'm getting attention, I don't notice it. As in, I ignore by, like, interacting with that attention. I still get the affection, as I show affection. When someone looks at you a lot, they're attracted to you. Why the fuck would you look at someone that's ugly? You look at them like... Your face tone changes based upon how you look at it. So if a girl looks at me and she smiles at me, she likes me. She's attracted to me. Or she has some sort of thing that she likes about me just from the looks alone. Some people will state that, like, that's not true. That's how our eyes work. We look at things we're attracted to. Stop being a fucking idiot. Stop being all jealous and get your fucking, Get your dildo out of your ass and start to fucking learn this shit. This is how we work, and this is how we work, period. So it's like, I saw that Bozzy girl up at Planet Fitness. And like, you know, I've been noticing that she's been eyeballing me as I've been working out and that. I kind of keep track of who looks at me and that. And like, what's up, Mason? And like, it's been very noticeable. She's been cracking like little smirks towards me and that. She knows I'm looking at her. She's fine as hell. She's a very attractive looking woman and that. And like, and people don't like to agree with this, but when someone likes you, they'll try to, especially if they don't want you to notice completely, they'll do strategies. Women are very good at this shit. They're very good at strategizing themselves. They put themselves in your way. I tested it out. So I'll go left, and for instance, you know, I see these are the same girls I see all the time. So I'm always working out with these girls, and they're always at the gym when I'm at the gym. And like, and I kind of like it though, because they're very pretty girls, and I like to be, my mind likes to be, you know, my eyes like to be entertained by how girls look at that. Obviously, I'm a man, so that's happened. And like, and they're very attractive looking, nice butts and that, very pretty and that. But you start noticing certain changes. So like the other day, I was pumped up, I was ready to go, I did a really good workout on that. I looked fucking jacked. I looked jacked as fuck. I was walking around, and my, you know, everything was all pumped up and that. I was huffing and puffing. It was a very heavy day and that, a lot of lifting. And I started noticing the eyes were shifting a lot. And like, I didn't care. I just noticed it. I look around that. As soon as I walk in, I always look at everybody's, how they shift their eyes towards me. Like, so when you first see someone that, you know, you see someone walk in, you're like, okay, you know, this dude's pumped up already. That his muscles are engorged, so he had a good, he fed really well on that. And I started seeing the same girls. There's like 3 or 4 of them, the same girls. I remember how they were looking at it. There was one girl with glasses, kind of like brunette blonde hair, you know. Another girl, she looked Bosnian. There were 2 girls I've been picking up a lot on. The Bosnian girl was normally by herself. And like, she would be like, she's listening to my conversations, because this is the biggest thing I've noticed. She was listening to my conversations. The last time I had conversations about certain things, that I always say it in this way, that like, if you want to attract a man like me, you cannot be this specific way. I do not like women that wear tight-ass fucking pants and show every guy that they got that their ass is basically hanging out. You might as well not wear clothes at all. Like, they literally have their ass so tight with their fucking yoga pants, you can see their individual butt cheeks. See their butt crack and everything. It's ridiculous. Of course, they're through the clothes. That's okay. No, that's not okay. You're still doing the same thing as being... You might as well just wear a fucking thong and walk around with your fucking ass hanging out. There's barely any difference. And so this girl comes in with a sweatshirt on. Not even joking. She comes in with a sweatshirt on, and the sweatshirt goes... It went pretty much like below the waist a little bit, kind of covered up her butt a little bit. And I was like, it's like 70-some degrees outside. I'm like, I know it's cooler in here, but it's not that cold in here. I could say like wearing like a shirt. You got a sports bra and you wear a shirt and that, cool. But she was wearing a fucking sweatshirt. It was really fucking weird. I'm like, she wasn't really working out too much. She was just sitting there like, I call it prancing around for affection. And and she kept catching my eye. I could walk by, she caught my eye multiple times, and she gave me smirks and that. I'm just like, okay, you know that I'm attracted to you because I look at your ass, I like the way you look at that. And it's very noticeable. Which means that she's got some intelligence, which means she's not a stupid person. And I was like, wearing a fucking sweatshirt? She wanted me to say something. See, the thing is, I ignore this stuff a lot in that, because I look at it, I'm not here to get a woman's affection. I'm here to fucking lift weights. I don't mind that little bits of attention in that. Because I see a lot of guys, they lift like fucking shit. They have no idea what the fuck, dude. 95%, not 99% of the dudes that go to the gym lift with fucking ego. They have no. This one guy did chest press. He did one set, and then he was done. I'm sitting there like, you did one fucking set. You ain't building nothing. And then he went to the leg press machine. He was doing legs. I'm like, what? Why are you doing chest day on leg day? You're fucking stupid. Like, dude, you have to formulate enough reps and enough sets to build up the muscle tears. You get to the like, okay, I'm gonna go do fucking toe exercises. Like, gosh, it's so fucking stupid. Like, I love being at the gym and watching how fucking dumb people are. And they get upset when someone's building all this muscle and that. Someone's changed their body composition and that. And they like, ooh. I'm just like, oh my god. Like, come on, guys. Let's get this shit together. You cannot be that fucking stupid. Like, the interactions were just fucking hilarious. Of course, I don't talk to these people and that. I just interact with them by watching them. It's fucking priceless. And, like, this one guy was, he was doing, I don't know what the fuck he was doing now, but you do, like, the single pulley machine. You normally do, like, tricep extensions at. Or, yeah, tricep exercises at. One of the pulley machines. He put on 95 pounds. I'm sitting there like, I went over there and like, he did 95 pounds, like, what do you do 95 pounds for? Like, some people put on the max amount of weight and they like do this, they do these fake ass fucking ego exercises and that. I was like, oh my fucking god, people, come on, man. So he 95 pounds and what I'm thinking that he was doing is he was sitting there and he was like sitting like this and he was doing basically, you know, oh, fuck, that felt good. No, he was doing a different kind of exercise. That's actually not that heavy. And so he was doing what you call, it's a machine where it does your front shoulders and it does your pecs and it does your triceps. Basically, it's like a downwards bench. So he was basically doing this, pushing down with his stuff and that. I said, well, fuck, I'm doing tricep extensions. Tricep extensions where you go like this and you're using other triceps. He was really pushing down. I'm like, I'm a big motherfucking dude. 95 pounds, tricep is fucking hard as hell. I'm like, I can probably do, like, I was doing close to 60 pounds with good form where I was actually really engaging it. And it's like, okay, so this guy's fucking, like, throwing the weight all over the place and that, so not actually contracting the muscles that he needs to contract to be able to build it. And then, like, you know, if he was doing, like, the actual, like, press movement of pressing downwards, not actually just doing this, there's a complete difference. Because pressing downwards is pressing. So if I sit like this, and I'm hunched over, and I actually go like this, is different from going like this. Completely different exercise. And, like, okay, so there's an exercise machine where you could sit down, has, like, two handles that you could push down on it. So it does your lower pecs, it does your frontal shoulders. It's basically like, what do you call them? Dips. They're basically dips. So like, oh, like 95 pounds? I'm like, I guess you were doing dips. Okay, that's cool. Now you're doing dip weights. I'm like, okay, 95 pounds ain't fucking shit. That's actually extremely fucking light, but so I can put 110 pounds in the machine and do like 50 of them. Actually, don't have a foot. It's quite hilarious. I see Nancy at Arnold. Why the fuck? Oh, why are you at Arnold? You go by there. You know, it's just so funny, man. I love watching people do certain things. They're like, prove how strong I am. It's not about the fucking strength, bro. It's about building up the strength. You don't learn how to build up strength. You can throw around weights all the fuck you want. It ain't gonna do shit because that's what your body is telling me that you don't lift weights. That's it. Why the hell are you going to Arnold's Denny's for? You gonna work up there? I'm sure that she is. That's because it's not ghetto. That's the reason why, because it's not. There's not trashiness there. Arnold stores actually like managed well. So it's all about the management. Like they get a lot of ghetto trashy people in South County. It's just ghetto. Like people just fucking want to be gangsters and shit. That's all it is. You know, they're not trained actually managers. Yeah. Because they're all working together. They don't fight each other so damn much. Like there's that's the whole point. It's the line of respect. That's the reason why Mel left. That's the reason why Mike left. That's the reason why a lot of people left, because there wasn't no respect. That's all it was. Fuck that place. They're gonna end up. They're not gonna be able to hire people. Like they're struggling to get cooks even now. That whole place is gonna end up shutting down. It's eventually gonna get to the point where it's gonna have to, because they can't get cooks in there, and it's just the GM cooking by himself and that, maybe with Nikki and that. Eventually, it's gonna shut down because if they can't get morning cooks, they won't be able. They'll have to throw Charlie. I don't even know if Charlie's even working over there anymore. I think he left. So did Tim leave? I mean, morning time. I know they don't. I don't blame. I don't blame us for leaving. It's a shit place. If what you're saying is how that GM guy is, it's like. I know you get a little excited when people yell at you and that, but like, yeah, it's. Tim left too. Ha! Ha ha! Oh, that shit's priceless, bro.
Call for guns and bullets.
Tim left. Okay, hold on. I'll be right back. I gotta go pee. Of course Tim's gonna leave. Because they probably throw his ass on morning. He told him to fuck off. And he said, I'm not doing it. Then again, yeah. Hold on. Okay. That shit's priceless, bro. I think that shit's fucking hugely hilarious. Yeah. I mean, Nancy wasn't bad, but yeah, I would say like when Logan was there and when Desiree was there, Desiree was hella fun. I like, yeah, and that's what the thing is. But again, that's all it is. It's time to move on. I got missed Desiree. Like when she left, it was just like because she couldn't get shit done the way they wanted her to, and they got fed up with her. And I'm like, dude, I've seen that woman make a 13 top of food by herself. Like when she was serving and coming back and cooking, I've seen her do it plenty of times. And I told Corey, like, why would? Well, she gave us an attitude problem that, like, dude, you guys are from the country. You're from fucking Sullivan, bro. You're not from the ghetto. You don't understand ghetto. It's not that Desiree was ghetto. It's just these people had it, you know, they were up front. When they got frustrated in that, they would tell you off. No, this is South County, man. This is how it is in South County nowadays. I'm like, so get rid of someone because they tell you how it is? No, motherfucker, grow up. Just grow the fuck up. Like, people are gonna tell you how it is because you're pushing them. That's why I left. Because I started seeing the interactions and that, and I didn't fucking like it anymore. And it wasn't worth the fucking money. I always say, like, if my energy consumptions are not being met, and my money's not being met for how much energy I'm spending, as in the food that I eat and that, and how much energy I'm spending compared to how much money I'm making, guess what? That money's not worth it. You know, it's just like the car wash thing right now. I'm waiting for fucking background checks still. And I was talking to my boss yesterday, and I asked him, what's going on. And he's saying, well, the background checks are taking they're taking a couple of days more than what they usually do. He's like, that's what he was saying, you know, whatever his district manager is. He's like, I don't know why it is, but it is lately. Like, okay. Exactly the point. Yeah. Well, 400 a week. You have to do at least 35 hours. The whole point of the job, the whole point of most jobs is to be able to be relaxed and have fun and do your job. The biggest problem with most people is I can work anywhere. If I'm not happy being there, then more or less likely, guess what? I don't want to work there. If I don't feel like I could be able to be excited, why the fuck should I have to work there? That's why I didn't like when Desiree left. I have the hots for Desiree. I thought Desiree was a fucking sexy-ass black girl now. She was very attractive, and she was enjoyable to see and to talk to. And I enjoyed it. And as soon as she left, the enjoyment kind of went down a little bit. You know, of course, when your cousin came in, and, you know, and then when Teresa actually started, like, being, like, actually nice to me and that. But, you know, that enjoyment leaves. Guess what? It sucks. Yeah, if you can make $300 to $350 in that, so like 30 hours a week should make you about 300 at 13, 350. 25 will make you like about 300 or so. Yeah. Just like me and you first started working together, and it was chill. We were fucking jamming, and that was fucking amazing. It was fun. As soon as you got Corey and John in, man, the whole entire place became a disaster. It's just like, dude, you're getting rid of people you don't want to get rid of, and that. You gotta let these interactions flow. can't just sit there and just get rid of everybody. It's because you're upset or because attitudes and that. This is just how people are. Hold on. I need some water. Okay, I'm back. But yeah, that's like the whole point of working. Like, when you feel miserable in that and you feel like people are against you, obviously you're not going to fucking work good. Yeah. That was one point, like, I would have stayed too. Like, I like being able to interact with, it was fun interacting with Teresa and that, and like Sarah and that. Like, everyone was pretty cool there. The only one I didn't like was honestly Jen. Jen was just a bitch. Emily was very easy to deal with. She kind of kept her mind her own shit, but Jen was the biggest problem, like, honestly, morning time. Like, that woman would be flipping from negative to positive, and she was just, the interactions were fucking shite. She didn't get enough attention in that. She would cry. I'm like, holy fucking shit. You need to get some psychiatric help and to get off the fucking, like, drugs that you're taking, because unfortunately that's what you're doing. You can lie through your teeth. And then dealing with Tim and that, the way he was interacting, Tim was just a fucking idiot. Like, I was like, dude, like, don't establish your front, old man, because you're fucking old. And, like, don't establish, it's because you got a baseline job that you're king of the crops. That's the number one thing I dislike a lot, especially when it comes down to some men and that. He's like, dude, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Evil is a fucker.
So there's that day he was getting all mad at that because we were talking. It's fucking stupid.
Just don't worry about it.
Well, it's all about who you're working for and that. So, like, if you... So, like, me, for instance, that's why I got the car wash job. I'm pretty much ready to go. Once the background check gets back and then I'll be ready to run up there. So I'm not working with anyone. The manager guy up there I talked to multiple times, that he's super fucking cool in that. He's really nice at that. Most of the people that are up there are just legit. They're just very, easygoing in that. They're very easy to talk to in that for the most part. And, like, I think it's going to be fun. And it's easy money. It's right down the street. It's easy money. It's right down the street. I was like, oh, thank God I got a job that's close. I don't have to get a car now. I want to get a car. I'm like, car's not worth it if I could just walk fucking literally 3 minutes down the street and get a job. That's why I say with you, man, you need to work in your area. You need to work in Festus. Stop working in South County, man. Get a job in Festus.
I'm all give.
That'd be your best bet. That's how I would do it. Like I said, like I said, get a job at Taco Bell. Like, it'd be the best thing to do. It's like, well, the money's out there yet. It doesn't matter how much money you're making right now because you're not making anything at all. You know, try to get your base efforts right there. Get your shit organized first and foremost. That's why I got the job I got. I get an easy job that you know it's hard for you to lose. Like, remember, Mason, you're still young. You just hit 18. You know, you're still young. There's still a lot of things that you got discipline with, and it's, you know, life's not just about making money, because making money takes a lot of discipline. We can talk all day about this, and I think you know that. It's just, at your age, it's really hard to comprehend it to the fullest because you haven't been through all of it just yet, which is true. You know, when I was 18, man, I'd been through shit. I was spoiled, you know, I was a baby. Yeah, I do have a PS5, but this is not a PS5 download. This is a PS4 download. Yeah, Krillin 42 does have a PS5 download. You know you're not. Take that active personality and throw it away, because gangsterism is fucking dead. Like, it's dead. All that children-like stuff that you guys do and that, doing the whole, like, hand signs and that, it's dead. Like, all that stuff's dying. Be the better generation.
I don't see him, but I smell him. That's nice.
Like, that'd be the best thing to do is...
You were not supposed to live through that.
I say thrive towards knowledge more than stupidity. Don't stop learning, especially yourself. You know, everyone asks the question, you know, about themselves, and that's the best way to learn yourself is to ask why. You know, ask, what am I doing with my life? Because acting is immaturity. Being is mature. So if you're being someone... So, like, for instance, for me, that I'm being the man I want to be. You have to be that someone. Doing the whole pretend thing, that's what little kids do. Kids do pretend things, you know. Logan makes way more than 600 a fucking week. Yeah, Logan makes way more than 600 a week. Logan probably makes about 800 to like 900 a week. He does not make 600 a week. He makes way more than that. If you're talking about even at that place and that when he's working. Oh, you're talking about, okay, as a cook and that, yeah, he was making way more than 600 a week. He's making close to 7. But it's not about the money, man. It's about the discipline. Like, so you can't make money without good discipline. Your priorities have to be higher than what they are now. So, like, if your priority of life is to make money in that, make money. Nothing else matters. Make money. So how do you make more money in that? You have to really discipline yourself. Oh, 22 hours. Of course 22 hours. Oh, no, it would be 22 hours then. 22 hours at 17 bucks an hour, wouldn't that be 600 bucks? I think he was getting paid. I think he was getting paid 17 at the time. No, because 20 times 20 is 400. And 18 times 20 is 360. Could use minus that. As an iron worker? Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. Oh yeah, definitely. That makes more sense then. Yeah, he gets paid about 25. It'd be like 550.
Slime is not
22 bucks, 22 hours of 20 times, 25 times 200 or 22 is 550.
hell of a killer.
Usually 20 times 25, that's 500. So it'd be 550. So yeah, you wouldn't be making those 600 then. You'd be making like, right close to 500.
Buy things. Not that it will matter. You'll still die.
So you're a rough round, close to 600, I guess. Now, if he's making 30, then yeah, 30 bucks an hour, that would be, 660.
Giblets?
Which I think he did get a 30, I think he did get a promotion or something like that, because he was talking about that. That he's going to make closer to 30 bucks an hour now.
That's poison.
Like I said, it's not really about the money, man. Like, people use the little bits of money that people make. You're never going to become a millionaire. Being a millionaire, it takes way too much work. You can't do nothing but work.
The resupply pod.
And you have to do stocks and shit. You have to formulate stock care and that. Like, you can't make $1 million off of just pure money itself. You have to be able to finance your money with other billion-dollar companies and shit to be able to make that kind of money. To be able to make anywhere millions of dollars in that. Like, if you work 2 jobs in that, because I was looking at it like this.
Bullets looking for a home.
It's like if you and your girlfriend, for instance, you guys work both full-time jobs, okay? And you say you both make 15 bucks an hour. You make 30 bucks an hour together. If you can be smart enough to understand what 30 bucks an hour is basically what Logan makes. So you do 40 hours a week, and you both do 40, you both make 15, you make 30 bucks an hour together. Of course, you're going to be separate taxes and that because, you're both making separate money. But overall together, that's how much money you're making. So you add all that up, and that, so you do 40 times 30, and that, so you do 3 times, that'd be $1,200. So you make $1,200 a week. And then you got to count taxes. So you make $1,000, say you make a little bit over $1,000 a week. So together you make $4,200 a month.
But that's just the warm-up.
So every year you're making close to $50,000, getting really close to about $50,000 a year at 30 bucks an hour. It's like really close, like 48 or something like that. You're in that state that you can do that right now, and you can have a lot of money now if you work together with your girlfriend and that, actually establish a good budget in that. Because you guys don't pay a lot of bills, and that's why I suggest you, doesn't matter what job you get, as long as you get paid 15 bucks an hour, and that this could work, doesn't matter, even if it is 13, it'll still work the same. You're 18 years old now, if you do that for 10 years, overall you would make over basically $500,000 making. Not saying that you're going to have that much. Let's say if you have, if you could, in 10 years you spend $100,000 and the whole 10 years of just life expectancies or whatever it is. So you'd be 28 years old now, you would still have like $300,000. Now, if you be financing that, so your first $10,000, throw that shit into Edward Jones, let someone finance your money. And to say in 10 years from now, that $10,000 could probably turn into, say, $50,000 or maybe $100,000. Say it does turn into $100,000. Because, of course, the ratios are going to change because every year you'll get a dividend. So you get a dividend of $500. So in 10 years, you get dividend of $5,000. You have already gained 50% money in 10 years. And so you keep adding that money on to, of course, with stocks, and that stocks will fluctuate in that, so you might make a little bit more than that. Obviously, in 10 years, you probably will. So it could go to $30,000. So if you attribute this stuff, these are all the things you got to look at. These are all the attributes to look at. So here's why you got to learn this shit. And I'll teach you this shit right now because I know it. Because this is what I'm going to start doing as soon as I get the money ratios that I need, which is this job. Finance yourself like this. 100%, you will always have money. So your first $100,000 could probably be, I would say, particularly hard to understand what it is to have $100,000. No, buying a house and that, don't do that. Stay with your parents and that, and go through this process till you get to like 30. If you feel, well, I gotta live on my own and stuff, and that, you don't need to live on your own. That live with someone, finance your fucking self. This shit gets really dumb with people. This is why people are fucking broke. You don't know how to finance yourself when you're younger now. When you get older now, you are fucking broke as fuck. And you're going to have to work 2 jobs. This is how you do this for 5 years. Say you're 19 to 24 years old. Man, you can live with your parents. I'm 33. I live with my parents. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck at all. Maturity. No, maturity is not giving a fuck. I don't care. I'm mature. Fuck society. Society can suck a bunch of dick because 90% of people are broke as fuck. Live from paycheck to paycheck. They barely have enough money to pay for anything. If you can do this for, say, 5 years, man, you make $30 an hour for 5 years, and then you live the lifestyle you live right now, you should be able to sell your first $100,000. That's from just continuously financing too. Is there every $10,000 that you can save, finance it. So you do it 10 times. You'll hit 100,000. You're not buying a house, you're staying with your parents and that, because buying a house is fucking dumb nowadays. Wait till the house market drops. It's gonna pop, it's gonna drop pretty soon. And it's gonna be in the next 5 years or so. Maybe it'll be a little bit sooner than that. I've been hearing a lot of stuff about the house market's about ready to pop. So you're going to start seeing a lot of things shifting pretty soon. Now, the house market's not going to drop dramatically, but it's going to drop, if it drops 20%, it could be a huge chance. What it's called, it's called buyer's market, where people are going to be buying. So the house is $200,000 now, which is normally like around my area now, it's about $210,000. You know, it'll drop down, say, $190,000 to $180,000, maybe $170,000. Depending on how big your house is and that. Things will drop. And then I would suggest investing into a house. But not spending all your money on a house. You pull out a fucking loan. If you want to get your credit good in that, go to a bank in that, try to get a credit card in that if you want to in that. Try to finance yourself with that if you choose to get that. You know, get good credit in that, or mildly good credit. It doesn't take long. You know, you can have like 750 of credit in that. You should be okay. Yeah.
In the desert.
It's gonna be a lot of work, man, but if you can be the dude, you can financially have enough money to when you hit in your 30s and that, you don't have to worry about shit. Like, you don't have to worry about nothing. Like I said, if you can make your first $100,000 and be able to have that finance and go through stocks and bonds and that, just get Edward Jones. If they go through that stuff and that, there's the fees, man, the fees are all crazy. They're so full of fucking shit. People that don't know how that shit works, they're just a bunch of fucking idiots. I have an Edward Jones. I did talk to them about it. My parents have one. They talked about that. They relay the same information. Fuck, you can start it with the guy that I have. His name's Jim. He's actually really good. He's been doing this shit for the last, I think he's been doing it for 15 years now. Or at least 10 or so years in that. He was doing my grandma's money and that, my grandparents' money. Don't listen to a bunch of stupid motherfuckers and that, and dude, to finance yourself is to finance yourself through the stuff that you get. Your money has to be put in something to be able to make money. John said it. Everybody's going to say it that has money. Money, when you make money, you know how to make money. And John taught us that because the way he does stuff and that.
Ammo box for some deserving boy or girl.
A trader pod to keep his out of that area.
The first time is always going to be the hardest time. But if you can do it, especially if you have a, cool-ass girlfriend and that, you both have to work. Fuck your damn emotional butthole picking and all that crap and that. You can put that shit to the side. You can have your fun on that when you need it. If you want to be able to have a successful life and stuff, especially a successful marriage and that, if you choose to marry this woman, that you're going to have to do all this shit as soon as possible. Because time is very short. The younger you are, the more you learn these things, the better off you're going to be. So it doesn't matter how much money you make, it matters how much money you have. So you're smart with your money now, you can always save money. And then you end up having more money. And once you start having a lot of money in that, and your money is starting to get to that point where you're starting to actually get it, you can always make more. You can always have more. You'll find ways to have more. That's all it is. All depends what kind of lifestyle that you want. Every lifestyle is different. I said live a poor lifestyle but have a lot of money. What I mean by that, your lifestyle has to be a certain amount of money. If you make more than what your money budget is, then what happens? You have more money. There's a lot of people that look broke, but they probably have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their bank account. Because they don't live rich. They live broke. They live the bare minimum. I live the bare minimum. $1,000 a month at most is my budget. And of course, these fluctuations depend on what I get and that with food and all that stuff and that, obviously. But that's my budget. So if I make more than $1,000 a month, I should save, right? Exactly. So I have to cut back on things because if my budget is too high as of right now, I'll cut back on things. It works perfectly. That's discipline. I would say, don't act like you're rich, know that you're rich. And knowing is knowledge. Living a high-class life like a celebrity and that's the dumbest thing ever because most of the celebrities end up being a mass amount of drugs and they're fucking miserable. I don't want a fucking $2 million yacht. I don't want a fucking Bugatti. I don't want all this stupid fucking shit that doesn't mean a pile of dog shit. None of that shit matters to me, at least to me. A lot of people love that shit. I don't want to be a fucking Andrew Tate. I don't want to be a John Waller. I don't want to be all these motherfuckers that make billions of dollars in that. And they want to believe that they're the top dog in that. I don't give a fuck. To me, that doesn't matter. That's not my life. I don't want to date fucking Instagram models. Because I see models every day at my gym. They're normal women are just fucking super fucking attractive looking. That's the point. Like, it doesn't matter. I want to, you know, my life is very easygoing. If I'm entertained by what? By what I do with my life, that's all I want to do. All this celebrity shit is just fucking garbage. Ugh. As I always say, what you listen to with music, what you watch on your TV and that's only the attitude most people like to have. You change based upon what you see and what you do. You know, so if you see something, you're like, oh, that's cool, you'll do it. That's what's bad about these influence. The influence age is fucking shite. No one's giving good information out. They're not giving you actual truth about why they do the things they do. If they do, they're more or less likely that they do it because they like to make money. Money is good, but it's not the basics of life. I like when I see two homeless people together and they love each other and they're homeless. They share life together. They're more happier than people that don't do that. Tremendously more happier. It's the biggest problem with most people. They're like, oh, you gotta have this, gotta have that. Men do not need to have all that crap for a woman to like them. That's the biggest thing. It's a stupid thing that men think that way. You're a fucking idiot for thinking that way. No one gives a fuck about that. Most women actually don't care in that because most women never give a fuck about that in the first place. And don't, you know, when say if a woman does get so-called influenced by that garbage shit, then that's just one more. I know I'm changing subject and that, but like that's basically what it is. It's like we care about money and all this shit because we believe that's what other people want. Men believe this very heavily, especially nowadays. Man, I don't give a fuck how broke I am. I don't give a fuck that I drive. Every attractive looking woman does like me now would pick me up right now and take me out. That's not true. It is true. Because it happened multiple times. Let's try and get the practice of like...
Time to give it a present.
Let's try and get in practice what is real and what's not real.
Feel real enough for you?
Actually, this bitch is fucking cool. Like as the younger generation right now, you guys around your age and that, you guys are influenced by really fucking dumbass people. Kind of like you're pretending to be people that you're not. You're pretending to be all these people that you pretend to be high class. You pretend to be that you're better than everybody else. From what? from absolutely nothing. You haven't done shite with your life. You haven't done anything. You just got out of school and like that's the sort of thing that people get put inside their head.
Halloween and Christmas.
You haven't done anything yet. You know, like, maybe you explain how much stuff that you've been through and how much stuff you actually learned. I can't say it was a lot. Oh man. So I get a little hungry. Body just woke up. There's a reason why learning has to be very strong. Don't act like anyone be someone. If anyone wants good guidance, the good guidance of saying being anyone is communication, honestly. If people can learn how to communicate really well and learn how to be at fault, to learn not to lie, which is most people do. Most people lie about a lot of shit. You hide what your actual true intentions are. Accept that you're weak and grow stronger from it. Get fucked, bro. Yeah, whatever, dickhead. Fuck you.
Am I seeing double?
Oh, getting bored of this game. Getting bored of this level. But yeah, I notice a lot of people talk about what they call fancy money. We'll talk about making money. A lot of people do that because, you know, that's what you do, Mason. You talk about making money that you actually don't make. You don't make it inside your head. You're thinking about it, but you don't make it. Other priorities are coming in. If you want to be able to do this, man, you got to step it up and say, what's the biggest priority in my life? And don't say your girlfriend, because your girlfriend's not the biggest priority in life. Because you can always lose your girlfriend. You yourself. Some people want to think the reality is based upon who they're with. No. It's about who you are. Who you want to be. You can have relationships that'll help rise you up. Yes, there's always good to have some type of relationship with someone. Girlfriend or a really close guy friend. But when you think your world is only evolved around, say you're a woman, and you're not doing things that you need to do to push yourself forward, you live in a fantasy land. You live in a fantasy land. It's the hardest thing to break. It's the hardest thing to break in the world is fantasy. Because fantasy is a lot easier to think than it is to do. It is. And most people don't understand that because you live in a fantasy world the bulk of your life. It's very hard to break. That's what I'm telling you. Get out of the fantasy world and go into reality. I said, what the number one thing that most men have to do is exercise and be healthy. Women do it too. Exercise, be healthy. Discipline yourself. And disciplining, the act of disciplining comes down to stress. Learn how to be stressed out. But learn how to de-stress yourself. And stresses are very multiple functional things. It's just how it is. I stress myself out with exercise. For that, I feel good after I do it. Now, is my body stressed out? Is my brain stressed out? No, my brain actually is quite a relief. I feel good afterwards.
Well,
But it is very difficult sometimes for some people to they want to live in a fantasy land. And eventually it's going to snap. The biggest snap, I'd say, though, is when you lose someone that you love or lose someone that you like. That's when you're going to snap. That's when reality's going to kick in, all the emotions are going to be really shitty, and that's stress, and you'll grow from that. A lot of guys don't understand that. Like, from the perspective of a woman, and that I know how women think pretty well for the most part. Could ask plenty of questions about. I says what? For some reason, women that are educated enough, and you can tell by how they talk, how they present themselves, they'll do what you call, they'll have their cutesy phase, where they'll like cuteness and simple entertainment and that, to a mature phase. When they start to go into reality, they start to understand that certain things have to happen. If the man doesn't try to at least be notified of that reality, and he's all mushy, kissy, and so much fucking emotions and that is not your trait as a man. Your trait as a man to be more logical, not as much emotional, which means you get shit done. If your woman's doing it more than you, that is a problem right there. And I know people say, well, if you're in love with someone, you should love someone for who they are. Yeah, you should. But when the traits are not being met, especially at a young age, just to say, the woman will be thinking, they do it a lot, especially younger women and that, especially the dating market the way that it is, it's all over the damn place. The act of maturity has to happen. It may not happen right now, man. Say, wait till about 20, 21 and that. But like, for what you state that you say, I want to marry her. So you want to be a man. Think to yourself, am I a man right now? And you always gotta ask the questions. What am I doing to become a man? Money. Okay, what do I do to make money? Right there, people stop because they don't know. Discipline. To be able to deal with bullshit, to be able to deal with stress. To be able to understand when to do something, when not to do something. Now, that might be your life, that's not my life, we have two different things. I'm not in love with anyone. I'm consciously in love with a couple of girls in my past and that. Yes, I do have feelings for these girls and that. But I'm not in love with anyone. I don't have anyone that I'm in a relationship with. Two different realities. But in your reality, which I've been through kind of before, in a way, and I see other people go through it. Like I said, like the condominium girl, the girl that was in the condominiums next to me and that. Like I said, she was with the guy for 5 years. We had a good conversation about that. And she was just like, and I asked her, why'd you break up with him? And like, the thing was that she didn't feel like that he wanted to move ahead, that he was being a kid. Childlike. Basically immature, okay. So what do you mean by that? That he didn't want to grow up. So he didn't want to take the man role that he should have took. And that's what most women lose interest in men. It's when they don't take that route. When they don't take the man route. When you're too babied and you want to lie or imaginate yourself being someone that you are not. Immaturity is imagine. Maturity is being who you want to be. Most women see that, especially after a while, and that they're going to notice it. Hint certain things. If a woman says, go to the gym with me, that is a hint. Go to the gym with me. Work out with me. Oh no, baby, I don't want to go to the gym with that. Why not? We're not doing nothing. I'm gonna go with my friend. Right there is a sign. She's telling you right up front. This person, I'm telling you, this is how it works. At this woman is trying to tell you to say, hey, the shit's knocking on your door right now. Love does not mean togetherness. Sometimes people that love you will break up with you to make you mature. Now it goes both ways. Sometimes a man breaks up with a woman and that just say, hey, I love you and that, but you're not growing. You stop growing. What the fuck are you doing? I live in Fantasyland. George would say, oh, play video games, I live in Fantasyland. I have my own entertainment. People love the bigger shit. Well, you play video games then? But I do the stuff that I like to do. I do stuff that I need to do, for the most part. It's two different lifestyles. And when you start getting these hints, when you act on this, say, yeah, baby, let's go to the gym. She would be so much more, she would be like, oh, he wants to go to the gym. She'll call her girlfriend up and say, oh, no, I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm going to go to my boyfriend that, you know. You start going to the gym and that. You start lifting weights and that. That will give you gargantuan more respect. Because she sees that she finally got it. She sees that you got it. She's just like, is he becoming a man? The sexual like excitement goes through the fucking roof. Women hint this shit with men. That's why women like guys that go through this. It's not because you're lifting weights. Yeah, lifting weights does help that. It's because they see that you are becoming more masculine. And most women like masculinity. Because that's your woman that. They like that. They love it. But when they see that you're not becoming more masculine, it's not about being masculine, it's about becoming more masculine than what you are. That changes everything. Because then you start to be what you want to be. More of a man. Working, not being overly emotional, understanding when to be emotional, but understand what priorities come first. And at a young age, it's really hard to notice that. Most people at a young age are like, oh, I love you, Dad. I love cuddling with you. And blah, blah, blah. At first, it works out perfectly. It's beautiful. But eventually, it starts to die down. And then, of course, when you're younger than that, you don't think about that. But once you get that certain age, you have to work. You have to make money in that. You start going through these processes and that. You got to leave that stuff when you need it. So, like, because I've been through that. It's like, I never want to work in that because, you know, blah, blah, blah. I want to be emotionally excited all the damn time. I had girls that I loved a lot either broke up with me or left me because I wasn't growing up. It's like, what do you mean that I have to get a job and all that stuff and that, blah, blah. I was the same way. I have to work and make money. Now, what does money have to do with anything? Learn what money is. Money is survival. Women love surviving. Men are supposed to be the hunters, which means we are the survivalists. We are the ones that push survival. If you don't push survival, then you ain't a man. That's if you want to be part of the, you know, of course, that's if you want to get a relationship and all stuff like that. Obviously, it varies on everybody. But these are the basic constructs. People don't like hearing it. You want to live in make-believe land? Go ahead and pop your fucking mom's titty out and start to suck on it again. It's basically what you're being. You're being a fucking bitch. You're being a baby. Not saying go from 1 to 10 instantly. It's a growing pattern. To show that you understand it, is you start doing it now. Put your foot forward, start doing it. That's the basic understanding of everything. It is hard. So me start streaming in that. I didn't think I was gonna be close to 300 subs. Fuck, it took me almost a whole year just to get 100 subs. I've been doing this, say, for almost 2.5 years now. You say, well, that's weak subbing that. It's because I'm not in the algorithm because YouTube doesn't like me. There it goes. Yeah, I won't be able to do nothing today. Background checks through, and we're gonna probably get my schedule probably started. You want me to come up there at 12? I'm gonna have to eat because I'm still fasting that. There we go. Look at that good news. Tuesday was the day. So he's gonna try to teach me, goes to the ropes and that. There we go. My job's completed now. Step number 1's been completed. I got a new job. Step number 2 is learning the job. Job's not gonna be hard to learn, but I still gotta learn certain things about it. And I'm fucking getting really hungry right now. Okay, it's been more than fucking 2 hours. I think I've been. Okay, I didn't start my stream until about like 7 something. Oh man. Okay, so let's get the schedule going. Let's start making this fucking money for this month. Or I got 2 more days, so. So he's gonna be up there at noon. She wants to come up there at noon. I'm probably gonna sit there if I work till 6. Just try to go through training, all the crap of that. I am starving. I am going to break this fast. Because I am... I think I woke up at like 6:30 or 7. I was laying around for quite a bit. Get my aminos ready. I gotta eat. So I'm getting off my streaming app because I'm probably going to work. I gotta eat really quick, dude. I'm fucking starving. So I'm gonna get off the streaming app. I'll be back on whenever I get back. Have a good one.